first ever recording, but welcome to Palworld. I'm Terra 3rd, T3. Trying this out. I don't know what a quick name would be for right now, but I'm liking Terra 3rd. I've played Palworld before on PlayStation 5, but this is my first ever time playing it on PC. I got my PC just fixed up. My little sister and I got it kind of working together, but no, I kind of wanted to have my first experience on PC with you guys, kind of show off what I can. I may just use this recording for clips, who knows, but my idea for this is to kind of be able to show you guys tips and tricks, at least tips and tricks. I know there's a lot of people already out there that's just talking about things to get overpowered with, things to do, how to get overpowered and such, but I want to be able to show you guys in a way how to kind of simplify that. Things to have in mind, things to not really worry about, things to keep in mind for later in, late game, mid game fights. On my other account, I didn't beat the game. I actually got like halfway through it. It was honestly pretty fun. I got to the boss battle in the I think it's like the Japanese area. I can't remember the actual biome by heart, but yeah. I'm going to get this started. Go ahead and name it. What should I name it? Let's keep it simple. I'm not gonna play multiplayer. I actually may throw on multiplayer just because I may have a couple of friends, or even my sister hop on who help me out. Personally, the only thing I mess with here is working pals. I set that maybe to like 20 because you can play the game with 15, but having just not even like maxing out at like 50, just maxing out at like 20, 25 will give you at least a good start in able to show you what's going on with every PAL that you can use. Same thing with maximum number of guild bases. You don't need a whole bunch. Everything you can kind of do, you can kind of like do 2, 2, and 2, where it's like 2 mining. You can have like a mining and a breeding, and then you can do, which I'll get more in depth with later, but you can kind of like optimize your worlds and your guilds and your bases. And the maximum number of bases for each guild, that it helps. Max number of guild members, this is just for if you have a bunch of friends that you want to play with. You could obviously max out to 100, or maybe things go good, maybe I can get you guys all in together. Maybe have a big Palworld fight. That'd be pretty good. Let's go ahead and just rock it in here. I'm not gonna lie, my first character I put a little bit of thought into, but I think I may just mess around. Like so. Oh my goodness. So much to choose. I think I'm gonna shorten down the legs and bring it to the arms. Try and give him the invisible lat syndrome. Yeah, there we go. We'll keep no. We'll keep it purple. I like the chiseled chiseled jawline we got going on here. Let me go to hair. Let's at least mess with that. Yes. I'm like liking the egghead. We'll go with the egghead. Not too much like egghead. We just see everything. Just give him the mohawk. Alright. Not really much here. First thing, nah, I would rather get into the game before we say that. If you've never ever thought of playing this game or have ever heard of this game, this is your surely first time hearing it. It's a survival like. You get to catch pals, which is the main name of the game, and the idea is to grow stronger. As you see here on my bottom left, I have a little it's like a party. It doesn't show anything here because it's just starting out. But you can catch pals and then switch out, which you can do. 1 and 3 will be able to switch out that pal. You can also have every the bottom left, sorry, is the food, hunger, and then heat and cold. It gives it more of a survival aspect to it rather than just being able to run in Minecraft style and kind of just run through, not care about much, go through a tundra and not have to be cold, go through a desert and not have to be hot. You have to actually like prepare for those things. You also have the day and night cycle. That's also a very big handy thing. There are some pals that can be nocturnal, and some pals that are just born in the night that will just work for you in the night. And there's two different big aspects of it. First things first I want to get to, before I even get to that, because that's going to bring me to a big explanation, is explore. In this game, there will be multiple ways you can travel. Flight, water, just ground. You can, there's so many ways. I don't even know all the ways. But go back and retrack your steps. Sometimes it's a lot helpful and you'll experience a lot better things. There's some just funny side quests, there's cool ones, the ones that give you a lot of good stuff, but it helps you get a good aspect of the game. You know, not for nothing, it's a $25, $30 game, and it has hours of playtime you can go through without even being able to finish it. You could speedrun it, of course, but there's a limit to every speedrun. The Castaway. Been a while since someone who didn't stick. Castaway. Been a while since someone who didn't stink of a pal wash up here. And this island is a living hell. The people I came with aren't with us anymore. Those damn pals ate every single one of them. You be careful up there. You see my face? You see these shoulders? We gonna be punching the hell. We gonna be punching. We gonna be taking them out. Here, take some basic supplies. See, basic supplies. You don't even go mining for a whole lot. You just talk to this guy. You need to toughen up, and you want to survive out here. You give some wood, which I mean, of course, basic necessity, but we need a lot more than that. Oh, actually, before I get too far into things. This is going to be your main points of travel. These are 4 pillars. Every pillar gives you a technology point. That will come in handy later. As you can see, I know you can't really tell by much, but this is a huge map. This is me zoomed out all the way. This is at the top. It is about the bottom. And they have little coordinates, so you can kind of see. So you can go like negative. I'd say like this is the farthest down, and like this is the farthest up. I enjoy that so much because not only is there a lot of these, but it gives you an aspect of being able to travel around and prepare for things, kind of teleport, and not have to deal with. My site and things is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. With that game, I love the traveling aspect about it with the mounts, but the fast travel made it so much better. Being able to just teleport around, use the mount, of course, and use it automatically, where you can just go onto paths. But being able to, if you had something across the map, just be able to get there. I'm just going to catch a little bit more wood, because not only do I have to make the crafting table to be able to get all this stuff, but it's nice to have a little extra. Now I'm going to just get a little bit of food, which not only will the berries be necessary, but the seeds will be very helpful. But they're very abundant, so don't think they're going to be too scarce. You'll be able to find almost anywhere. Stone is going to be a huge part of this. Not only is it just a good technological upgrade, but it helps out with a lot of building. So first, we're going to go ahead and get the primitive workbench. Sorry, I was going to read over it. Primitive workbench for producing simple items requires a pal to work of the hands. So not only can you work at it, but your pal can as well. But a pal of only certain sorts. So let's go ahead and build this. And this little pal sphere I'm going to come in handy. I picked that up for a reason. I just wanted to get that right after I got done with this. This will be able to get you your basic tools. The club will be able to help you, as it says, beat the small pals into a pulp. But I don't really use that as much, only because it just takes that basic wood that I don't have right now. So I'm going to come back to that later. And also, the axe and the pickaxe kind of do the same thing. What I'm wanting to do is actually find the cats that are around here, and use that as my first pal, maybe. Okay, so in this area is usually the lamb balls, the chickens, and sometimes the cats. But like a lot of things, you have to go find them. But because they're not in the area for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and set up. Setting up is going to be like the biggest part of this game, like I was saying at the beginning. Being able to kind of get yourself set up ready, get a little bit more experience for your next boss, your next fight, the next thing you have to do will be very helpful. If you do have problems with like memory, I would definitely have stuff to write down, just for your, not even just for me speaking, just for your own personal time playing this game. Having a lot of things written down is honestly pretty nice. Just having the notations, even just besides the missions and having submissions, because you're gonna want to have personal missions of your own. Maybe getting a pal, maybe getting a pal to a certain level, getting a certain weapon, maybe. But all of that will take a lot of time. I'm gonna go ahead and get the pickaxe because I'm not gonna need a whole lot of wood. And if I have enough, I should be able to get both. I just like to focus on pickaxes more because it you know, I'd rather be punching a wood, a tree instead of wood. I'd rather be punching a tree than punching brick and stone, rock and stone. And as you can see by my items getting picked up, not only do I get stone, but I also get palladium fragments. A crystallized energy from the world tree capable of creating supernatural items and structures. Very, very, very useful. That world tree that's talking about is actually that big thing in the background. There's a lot of lore of this game that honestly I haven't personally went into, and I wanted to go into maybe when I started doing this recording, because I feel like it'd be nice to have both you guys, everybody, with me while learning, because we all kind of get to learn something new and maybe even theorize. Since I have a good bit of stone, a good bit of wood, do a little bit more wood, and then I'll go to the missions. The missions are nice, but treat them as something that, like, alright, am I powerful enough to be able to do this mission? And if not, is not gonna really work out for you. Not in the sense of just like, not in a sense of like you're weak, you're always gonna be weak, but the thought of just like, would I be comfortably enough fighting this, doing this mission without maybe losing pals or having the right healing or whatever it may be. Since I got enough wood and stone, we're gonna go to our inventory first. As you can see, when we level up, we get a few stat points. Alright, and with those stat points, you can use it for almost all of your, everything that's right here. So what you want to do, enhance a stat, everything but defense it seems. Health just helps you not get one shot. Stamina, that's going to help big time long run, because if you don't have a pal that's can give you a mount, you're going to be using a lot of stamina a lot. Attack, I haven't seen a good purpose to benefit an attack. Please let me know in the comments if you defer or something like you think differently. I would love to hear your opinions. And I mainly just work on these two, which is work speed and weight. Work speed, as you can see with when we build things, there's a timer on it. When you go into your work speed and you build into that, it helps that timer go down a lot quicker. And you'll notice that sometimes you'll even get onto some par with some of your pals that have like maybe level 1, level 2, level 3, whatever it may be. What I'm going to personally do is go into weight, put just both of them into weight, just because I need to carry a lot more, and that helps by 50 each time. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our technology. This is the main structure of the game. As you can see, we go all the way down to level 65. We're not going to take a big look at what all those weapons and stuff are. Those are all just spoilers for later. We're going to deal with everything here. I honestly would just get everything. I don't personally use the repair kit, but everything here is going to be useful. The old bow will always be a good useful tool, especially in-game, or in-game, beginning of the game, because you'll be able to have that long range and not have to be up on somebody's leg and just be able to kill him, you know. And you'll see what I mean by that. There's giant pals out there. So what we're gonna first do is get the pal box. The facility for storing captured pals. Pals inside gradually recover health. The area around the structure will become your base. Best way to think about this is it's like a storing station, but also a healing station at the same time. If at any point your pals like go unconscious, you can always just put them in here and you can bring them back up to health. But it takes time. It's not just boom, lickety spit, you get it. You have to wait. It's like 10 minutes, I believe, per pal. But there are other things that can help you with that. So go ahead and get that. Pal sphere, what we were talking about before. It's gonna have to use that palladium fragment, which we were talking about, an item that captures pals when thrown. This basic model is only effective on low level pals. So it kind of gives the idea of maybe there's more pal spheres, maybe higher level pal spheres. But let's go get our basic for now. Campfire, we're just gonna get that because, as I said, simple food and a little bit of light. We're gonna need that heat for when it comes down to being in the nighttime. Chest, store stuff, repair bench. This is where you will be able to repair your tools, weapons, armor, everything. Don't think you have to throw away your weapon once it breaks, or you have to trash it, or whatever. I thought that until I was like level 15, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I just didn't care as much. Once you get to the higher levels, your pals kind of do the work for you, so I didn't really think about it. But when I needed my tools, I didn't want to pay for them as much. The wooden structure set, only because there are going to be a lot of times things may get wonky in later games, and you're going to need that structure so your pals are secure and not just like glitching around, so to speak, on the normal land. Let's go and get that old bow for what I was talking about before in the long range. A soddy bed, just for us to sleep. We're going to go the pal straw bed, so they don't so our pals can sleep and not have to lose sanity, as it says here. Pals at base recover sanity while sleeping in the beds at night. Without a bed, pals cannot sleep soundly, and no sanity is recovered, which is a big deal because once they lose sanity, it becomes huge problems. I'm honestly not gonna get this because I don't ever see a reason for the repair kit. Maybe, maybe later. I am gonna get that cloth because they're definitely necessary. All right, go back in here. As you can see, we can get a lot more things. We need fiber for our bow and arrows. But first, we're gonna go get some pal spheres. Max that out, and let's get to work. As you can see, it takes a little bit of time per craft, and with that work speed buff, it will be able to help out so much. By the way, anytime that you kind of do almost anything, mining, gathering, wood cutting, you get XP, even when it comes down to catching pals. Keep that hugely in mind when it comes down to leveling up, getting stuff done, all the above. Oh, what I was looking for. Hello, cat. Come here. You and my pickaxe have a lot of things in common, and we like to speak to each other. They'll get stuck, as you can see, at some point. They're not going to be able to, like, you are at some point a little faster than them, so there's always, you can sprint, but for when to get close. And corner here. Boom. Do the attack. They're going to attack me. Oh no! Ah! Oh snap. How? I'm gonna get it copyrighted. Palball. Ooh, we actually got some good passive skills on that. Yeah. So, I'm catching land ball because not only do you just get a lot of XP, but you're gonna be very useful later. We're getting very good passive skills, honestly, with these first attempts. I'm honestly surprised. I know I'm kind of doing stuff without explaining, and I'm so sorry, but what I'm currently doing is catching pals for not only them to work for me, but because they have certain skills. And once I catch just a couple more, I'll show you guys. That's what happens when you take them out. They'll start fighting for you. What you can do from here is, if you look at my bottom right, there's a command button. With that, not only can you pet your pal, feed them, you can emote, you can go to photo mode if you ever think something looks super cool, which I may do at some points during the fights or during certain moments. But just to show you guys, this game is huge. I guess there's only a bubble. I've never been in this mode before, but this, I guess, is a bubble, which makes sense. You want to go too high and show off the map. But this place is absolutely gorgeous. I love every single thing about it, and there's so much to explore, as you can see, just by one side of the map. I absolutely love it. But now that we've gotten to the pals, and I've caught a couple, what they actually do is, if we go to Kativa, while in the team, Kativa helps carry supplies and increases player max capacity, which is very helpful. It comes down to this, as you see, it goes from 400 to 450. Very, very, very helpful. I love that. And it's one of the favorite reasons why I go for Kativa at the start. Once you get a few of these, they are so helpful around the base, even just for early gaming. And as you can see, they have a random pull to be able to get a certain passive skill. And as you see, we got we got a pal that neutralizes the cell pal. So not only do Cativos almost always get coward, but this one gets artisan, and this one got musclehead as well, which kind of takes out artisan because of the -50 work speed, which is pretty funny. But we also go for Lambo. Oh, actually, I didn't finish up with this. This is only the passive skills and the partner skill. The stats kind of have an effect. You can boost these stats later, but the work suited ability is the main thing. As you can see, a lot of it is grayed out and only some have one level. Yes, you can level these up, but the main thing is of which skills they actually have. They had this Kativa has handiwork, gathering, mining, and transportation. Every Kativa will have it. What you can do with this is start off a little base, and when you put them in the pal box, they'll be able to do all of these things. If you have any plants to gather, it'll gather them. Mining, transporting, handiwork, all done, done, done. But there's goods and bads. Some pals will only have certain ones. So as you see here, yes, they have handiwork, but they also mainly have farming. Transportation's nice, but that farming is that big one. Not all pals have a farming skill. And with the farming skill, as you see, it will have the chance to drop a certain item. Those certain items are going to be huge for later game. And if you heard, I'm actually hungry, so I'm going to eat some of the berries. With that, all you got to do, from what I'm seeing, is right click, or I believe it's just clicking triangle or Y if you're Xbox, and being able to click on whichever pal you want to feed for yourself. The food does have a timer on it, so keep that very, very much in mind. You will lose food a lot unless you have something like a fridge or something that can help it stay cold. What we're actually going to do here is go back this way. I know I was just running from it, but you live and you learn. You know, it doesn't seem like they don't die, but can you pass away into a different life? Oh, chest. See, and this is why we go back. 3 XP. Yeah. With this part, I actually want to show you guys on a PAL that I have not actually. It's a percentage. The percentage is how close you are to be able to catch that PAL that you are currently facing. Sometimes it can be really high, sometimes it can be really low. There's also things to help boost it. Ooh, those green lights will very, very much come in handy later. They help you boost certain stats. And if you look at those little orange ones, those are more towers, so you want to teleport them. The blue towers are our main boss battles. With the boss battles, I wouldn't go after them too much. Let them kind of be. You'll kind of learn from that later. As you see, I got cold. Once you get to this point, you'll start slowly losing health. If any colder, you'll start losing a lot more health. Just go next to fireplaces, find little NPCs that'll help you out. When you get to this point, though, go ahead and build yourself a little bed. I do a little straw bed because cheap, efficient, easy. It'll take some time to build, but we got the time for the night. Go ahead and build it, sleep for the night. Personally, I don't heat the beds, but it's my first night in Palworld. on PC. The night's so beautiful. Let me do a little cinematic view. This is crazy. Every single one of these little things, every single tree that's different is a different biome. That up there is as you see the blue towers, those are all accessible. That big, all that accessible. That accessible. What game do you know has stuff like that? Besides like $60 to $100 games like Elden Ring. I'm not trying to say I've never really seen like small companies and small games, but they put a lot of effort into this game, and ever since I've heard about it back, I don't even know what year. For me, it was like had it been like 2024, 2023 when I first heard about this game. I was like, I need to get my hands on it. I've always had like a deep love for these type of games. Oh, the Common Shield. A strange shield made from palladium technology. It automatically repairs itself after not taking damage for a while. This is going to be your best help for defense on taking on higher tier pals, and you can slowly upgrade throughout the game. It's not just upgrading this, you'll unfortunately have to toss it after a while, but you'll be able to get new ones. Excuse me. The cloth outfit is very useful as well, and that's why I got the cloth rather than the repair kit, because you can protect yourself from the cold night, but as you see too, it has defense and health, which will be very helpful. The theming box is also nice because it helps automate your PAL base. The alarm bell, I didn't really use this, but if you like the idea of being able to have your pals ready to attack whenever a threat comes by, you can always just go for the alarm bell. It's kind of the opposite of what the village bell, golden bell, did in Minecraft, where rather than putting people away in their houses, it helps them come out at night or day and just, hey, we're about to have people fighting. The hang trap, I've heard a lot of things about the hang trap where you can do like capturing level 40s and, you know, just breaking the game. I personally haven't put my hands around this thing. I feel it could be cool and nice, but maybe in a different video. Give me some ideas if you guys have any. If you guys ever played it, I'd love to be able to either show those ideas or maybe even see if there's any ideas that maybe like not even like meta or not even thought of. Just bring it to everybody's attention to you guys. That'd be cool. What else? I don't want to place it here. I want to travel a little bit. So I'm gonna set this. Make a move on. I feel like moving the base down maybe would be nice. Not too far down. Oh wait. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. See? You could have chances of not being able to catch it. But sometimes when you throw it at the face. Nope. No, don't do it. Yeah. Get him! Get him! Yeah! Get the other one! Do my dirty work! What? Where'd you... Okay. Wait. Get back. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Off the ladder. Jump, spin. Woo! Oh. Of course I did that to a masochist. Best idea to have, catch everything. Catch at least one of everything. It's nice to have at least the luxury of not having to go back and be like, oh snap, do I have that cow? I wish I'd make them low, just so I can have the one shot, one opportunity. One hop. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm just going after more resources, stuff that I know I'm probably going to be needing for the future. Also, honestly, just picking up anything as I go. Oh, here's one of those green things. And I believe, actually, if we go up top, there's a chest up there, but I'm not too worried about that. Oh, if you ever heard of games like Genshin Impact, or games like that, as you know, when you're in the water, you will slowly die from stamina. If you don't have the stamina. Same here. If you don't find a ledge, you will just slowly die. There are things to help you get out of that, but genuinely just find a little ledge that you could just pick it somewhere. If not, have fun tracking back for it. The game gives you a little marker of where your stuff was, but it's not fun. They're so cute. My favorite ones are actually at night. I don't want to go too far that way, because if we look at our map, I think, yeah, there's a level 38. And with that, we want to get past it. Think of this big boy is basically the first little mini boss that you get into Elden Ring. This little dunce right over here is annoying. He is not only a grass, but it can also do ground moves, and it's just not fun. You basically get one tap by him, and it truly shows you the works of this game of, like, you are not him. And as you see, once you slowly get away from the actual starting area, there's a lot more pals to be able to get caught. I honestly would just go after these blue rocks off of anything, because the stone and the wood is going to be very, very easy to collect. This palladium fragment is dumb. If you ever get stuck somewhere and can't move, you can respawn. You can use the respawn option in the main menu. Of course, it'll drop your items and equipment, but you'll return back to your base. If there's truly no way to get out, it's worth a try. Appreciate it. Always good little knowledge to have. I like the penguins because not only are they cute, but damn, you didn't have to do that to them. Oh, you got that. You got that, Milpaka. Yeah, she got all that. Psych. Alive. Ooh, don't touch me. Don't touch me, I'm sterile. Don't touch me, I'm sterile. mess him up. Do it. Oh, okay. Control. Yeah. Fights like these, you don't always have to take. I just take them because it's the fun of the game. Yeah. Don't just keep doing that in my floor bland ball. I'll fight. I'll win. Frick. Hang on. Hang on. Just stay right there. Hold that. Staying in there? Okay. Thank you. I am very much new to keyboard and mouse, so you will probably see me spam buttons a lot. I'm not trying to say don't yell at me at the comments, because I know y'all will, but be nice. I have to, okay. Ooh, Mr. Postman. Great, got a bunch of cats in inventory. Get him, cat. Get him, cat. Hey, yeah. Hello. Oh, hello. Let's take a breather. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yep, all of my items and equipment. That's great. Oh! Well, I'm not gonna do that. At least not until later game. I want to be able to show off the game in its true entitle, not in the glitched form it can be in. Well, that was a good. Why are you here? That's not the same boss, I promise, but it is it? No. Okay. You know, the boss like icon would pop up on your screen, but that's like a mini boss, as you can see by that. They give you a little beacon for where your stuff is, but that doesn't help. You know, you're level 4, getting bashed up by level 6. Geronimo. Oh, berries. This is actually going to be very useful for us. Not only does it help us with early on skills, but Poison Blast actually is very helpful. The one thing I like that you don't lose is your pals themselves, so you can still have a second opportunity of not only fighting the boss pal or where we were before, but if you still need that mount, you have it. Oh, before I even get to picking up my stuff, this isn't a timer until it like despawns your stuff. Your stuff will always be here. This is just until somebody else can pick up your stuff. This is always privatized. And I'm going to look for is that pal again, because it is very useful for honestly your early and mid-tier battles. I clicked the wrong button. First try. Box Sparks. Very, 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 very useful. I like to have him and this pal. Yeah. Backshot bonus, which is a helpful thing when it comes down to just catching random pals without actually having to fight. Because now you don't have to truly worry about yeah, what do you back I forgot what I was gonna get. I'm actually gonna take my buddy JJ's idea on build a base up here when we had a road on PlayStation. With that, what you're going to start off with is your PAL box. This is the main kind of main base, main start to everything. As you can see, there's a blue little circle around you. First, I would take every PAL and put them away before building, because when you place this down, you can always pick it back up and see where your limits are. So as you can see, this kind of goes into the water. This really wouldn't be helpful. So what I can do is I can pick that up and bring it a little bit this way. So I can kind of use maybe that second leveling or come down here. So with that, you're just going to go back over here, go into your builder mode, which is B. For PlayStation, I believe it's up on the D-pad. It should be in your bottom left corner. If I am lying to you, but you're gonna go building, disassemble, disassemble it, and move a little left. Well, at least for me, a little left, but wherever the main land will be. Usually the nodes in the middle kind of give you a good outline of where you will be. If at any point you are building on wood, actually, since I said that, it was actually a really good idea. Just place a little wood foundation down. Of course, it was how we use a little bit of wood. Put a little more, and place the PAL box right on top. And with this, as you can see, it's not going to lock in because it's overlapping, but for me, if I hold my axis alignment, it puts it right on top, right centering in the middle. If I hit build, now it gives you a better idea on where you're gonna have everything. As you see with me moving the PAL box a little bit, moves it right to the edge of the water. I can still build up and go as high as I want, but it's not over that water, which will help me with support later in the game. And now to show you guys what all this has been about. Click E, and he's building for me. Perfect. As you can see, all of my PAL that I've caught so far is not only in my party, but in the PAL box, and you get a lot of boxes. 32. We got 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 30 spots for 32 boxes. That's a lot of numbers. What we're gonna do is, honestly, look at everybody, and I think I'm just gonna put Kativa in there. Not only can they do some mining for me, they can do some handiwork, so moving around. Then what I'm going to do for them is I'm going to go ahead and build another foundation, a little bit around. Make sure that not only do we have somewhere to sleep on, but somewhere to eat out of. Because as you see in my top right, cows without beds are going to get stressed. And that's why I explained what I did at the beginning. But the feeding box here will help you with automation and keeping your cows alive when you are not home. So first, I'm going to get that open. Personally, nope, there's no, like, you can put it on like the absolute edge to save space, but to make it look nice, we're in the corner. And then, only because we only have the one pallet. Let's go ahead and work on that food. Perfect timing. Sun's almost up. Every PAL has their good and bad uses for everything, so always keep that in mind. But no PAL is bad, really. Every PAL has their use, and some have their bad uses. But it's not something that makes it terrible, so to speak. You know, it's something that gives the game a different light, a way that you can always play this game in a different way. You don't have to always go one way, one direction. I have to do this. You can honestly just go ahead and, so to speak, just do it by hand. Like, you don't even have to have pals. If you truly wanted to put all the work in just by yourself, go for it. There's weapons, mass destruction that you can use, all the above. If this ever happens, that's only because I feel like there's like a little glitch in the game. If you go back to your building and you do the corner floors, you can corner floor it up. It may look a little wonky, but it's helpful. As you see, it's all squared off and ready, but it just looks a little weird. Getting your PAL base kind of leveled up and having enough PALs to kind of make it automated, so where you don't have to be at home as much, is always nice. For example, if I were to switch out my Kativa for Land Ball, and then if I were to build a you didn't see nothing. Just. Of course, you can always align it to wherever you want it to be. I'm just going to have it in this corner. Having pals helps you with building too. They'll start putting stuff away from me. And since it's really close, it's usually just like a turnaround. But as you see, all those little ores and palladium fragments are going to go right into there. With that, my current base missions are complete. So if you click your upgrade button on your PAL box, you can go ahead and base upgrade. And with that, it gives you an extra slot for a PAL. You can upgrade something all the time, so it can either be max PALs or it could be max number of bases, whatever it may be. It always just helps out. Now you need to build the primitive workbench and a soddy bed, which I always came in handy with that. And then build a new one. I am not the best with designing. I'm just gonna tell you guys that. There. I'm not saying I'm not the best, but I'm also not truly the worst. But now we have to find a PAL that will help us with not only wood cutting, but planting. We have a harvester already. We just need somebody who can plant, who can water, and with the watering we have that already under control. Getting a wood supply would always be great. With this part, you're going to be getting full on weight very simple or very quickly. With that, don't stress too much on walking around, especially if you're in your base. As you see, I'm halfway past my limit. Just keep going at it until you hit your weight limit. If you want to keep going past because you have a couple more trees next to you, you're gonna have to wobble, but get it up. More the merrier, you know? That's actually going to be a problem coming up here soon, is the PAL springs. We're going to need a lot of PAL fluid to be able to build that, because if not, then our PALs are going to lose a lot of sanity very quickly. Oh, with this, what you're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and go back to your inventory, and then there's an easy bulk storage. When you click that, it'll show you your exclusions. For me, what I like to do is I just like to throw my PAL spheres on there, just so they don't ever like leave my inventory if we ever have more. And I'm gonna stow them. So everything that has a useful spot is gonna be stowed. Leather doesn't have a spot, fiber doesn't have a spot, none of these. But my stone and my ores went in there. Now if I were to, for an example, put a little bit of wood in here, and then I would do the same thing. Easy bulk, store. My wood is now gone. Hungry again. And this is that PAL fluid I was talking about. It's gonna come in real big handy here soon. We have a lot of points. We're gonna get a berry plantation. This is gonna help us with keeping food alive in our base. Go ahead and get a parachute, just for those falls. Go over a little bit. We got the ranch. This is going to help us with getting wool and be able to have land ball actually work. We have a fire bow. Fire bow is basically just an old bow, but now it has fire on it. We have to get the fire arrows, unfortunately, for it, but it helps. I want to get to this part because there's another creator, a bigger creator, that showed me on TikTok how to use this little glitch for your farming, but that will be later. I want to do that in a different episode. Next is the Statue of Power. When you can make offerings, and that's going to be what that green light does, you'll be able to put it into here, store it, and it'll help you. I'll be able to show you that once we actually place it down, but that'll be for later. My last one I want to be able to get is actually Foxpark's Harness. Foxparks is actually a really cool and very useful POW, and getting this one leveled up is very, very useful. Ancient Technology is for your boss battles whenever you do fight a mini-boss, so to speak. Just bring up the Memorist, the Towers, any type of mini-boss, you can get a ancient technology point, and that will help you with accelerating your leveling up and, excuse me, automation big time, rather than being able to slowly do it. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is build that ranch I was telling you about before, mainly because we're gonna need wool here soon. With that, I always like to throw a chest right next to it, just so it's a lot easier to kind of manage storage. And this is what I mean by making it just making them kind of do all the work. Because if you kind of take hold of everything, then you're gonna realize you're not gonna be able to get a whole lot done. Which, in hindsight, sometimes is okay, but you always want to be able to kind of get stuff done, you know? Are they getting food for themselves? Yes, I believe so. What I'm actually gonna go ahead and do is see where the hot springs level 9. That I think I can solidify that maybe next episode. That and the Statue of Power, because I want to be able to show you guys what the. Just don't move. It doesn't see you. I wonder sometimes how I live through these things. But as I was saying, in episode 2, I kind of want to be able to show you guys the Statue of Power, the hot springs, and maybe even get the farm set up to be able to get that moving. I don't want to get stuff too fast because I'm liking this. I want to be able to go slow, show you guys everything that kind of goes on in between. I want you guys to be able to enjoy, of course. I don't want to feel like I'm just rushing everything. That feels just, you know, and just feel too fun to me. But if you guys do enjoy, please do happen to leave comments down below. If you think I am funny, or just, I don't know, help a lot better in explaining things, maybe other people, go ahead and hit a like, or maybe a follow, maybe subscribe. I don't know what I want to post this on, so whatever you can do helps. Maybe even share it out. Just let somebody else know about it. Just one person. One person is always can go long ways, because one person, you know, train, so on and so forth. But thank you guys for watching. This has been Terra Third. I think I'm going to stick with it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.